Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Troy Mixon, Director of Partnerships here at CINC, and we have our wonderful client, Greg Langham, Idaho's finest, Mr. Sasquatch. Uh, One of the first guys to, befriend me as I joined about 8 months ago. So, Greg, thank you for all that you've helped not only myself but our community with doing webinars like this, and I know that you coach and help folks kind of refresh or kind of get re-engaged with their platforms, no matter their systems, etc. Would love to kind of have this call to give everyone some ahas that you've maybe seen over this summer, because we were all juggling the holidays, the family, the no school, and some real estate. So how you've been able to kind of help others maybe with some system, tips and tricks, some ahas, and then some of the kind of branding or things they can implement today in their business.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, Troy. I love it. It's my passion. I love getting into people's sync databases and just helping them see those aha moments and that low hanging fruit. Because honestly, this is like the highest ROI system we have. We don't do the
Awesome.
Zillow game. When we work the sync platform correctly, it's amazing the return of investment we have and the money we can, and
Yeah.
also how we can scale. It's
Yeah.
huge for us. So
Yeah.
I absolutely love that about Sync, and I love helping everyone out. So I'm happy to be here, happy to help and pour into anyone in any how I can or any way I can. So
Well, everyone, at least he's the one giving all the tips and tricks, because he's got the Idaho accent or no accent, maybe like a weatherman type deal. Like they might be in trouble if they're trying to keep up with my the Charleston or Southern drawl. But no, well, thank you, Greg. And yeah, let's kind of dive right into it. What are some things or maybe some tips that are? I know you've mentioned helping folks get listings with a feature. Mind sharing with the audience some ahas that they could take away to implement today?
no, not at all. Happy to. I'm blessed to be able to help so many sync clients jump into their platforms and kind of retool some things. And the frustration and complete honesty is like, man, we want to convert now. Like we have these leads coming in. Some are good, some are bad. That's the nature of internet leads, right?
Yeah.
But some of them are just taking a long time to nurture and to pop. And it's like, what can we do now in the sync platform to get business today while we're waiting and nurturing and messaging those leads who are maybe 6 months out, 8 months out, 12 months out, 14 months out? And so I think one of the biggest hidden gems that the Sync platform has to get now business is those text responder codes. It is so crucial that you are using those text responder codes to get listings. I'll tell you how we're doing it.
Yeah.
So as someone, if someone calls your sync number and you don't pick up and they don't leave a voicemail and they're not in your system at all, sync gives that lead to you or that number to you and saves it for you as a partial lead. Same thing if someone's to go on a property on your home valuation page and enter in their property value to find out like what their home is worth, but then they get a little like timid, they don't want to connect with you, they don't want to put in their information. What's awesome is Sync saves that property address and gives it to you as a partial lead. It's not a full lead, so it's not going to be seen on your dashboard because it doesn't have the full name, email address, or phone number. It's
Yeah.
saved as a partial lead. So to find that, you have to go to filters, lead type, uncheck everything, just select partial, and there's your partial leads. And if anyone goes and does that, they're going to see a lot of phone numbers probably and some property addresses. So the reason why I bring that up is because that's how you're going to be able to find your now business, not through those, because those are a lot, and complete honesty and transparency, a lot of those phone numbers that we have in our partial leads are spam. They're just telemarketers. So what I'm just bringing that up because as you go into creating text responders, people who respond to your text codes, that's where they're going to go. They're going to filter into the partial lead. So that's the only reason why I bring it up. So what we
Yeah.
do, if you are sitting as a team leader or you're sitting as an agent and you're just like, man, I'm working my database and things are going, but I need some now business and I want to get some listings. The first thing that you do is if you have a new listing in your neighborhood, your market, whatever, or you don't have a new listing, get written permission from the listing agent that you can advertise that listing, create a flyer with that picture of that home, of that new listing, and have the flyer say, just list your neighbor's home just listed, text the word price to see if we've overpriced it, underpriced it, or priced it just right. You have to keep in mind that the messaging that you give to your clients, whether that's through calling your leads, texting your leads, or doing postcard mailers, is you have to pay attention to the number one radio station that they listen to, and that's WIFM. What's in it for me? So if you are sending out anything in print, you have to keep in mind what's in it for the seller to get them to respond. So a seller might want to know, is my neighbor's house overpriced, underpriced, or priced just right? So they're going to text the word price to your CINC number, which will then create an auto response back to them that says, hey, your neighbor's home is listed at 800,000. Do you think it's going to sell in the next 30 or do you think it'll sell under or over 30 days, and kind of make it playful. So that's what we do. And so we can drop all around that listing. But the beautiful part about all this, Troy, is you get the homeowner's cell phone numbers, right?
Yeah.
And that's the magic. So now you have cell phone numbers to the homeowners who live right around that listing or another competitor's listing. So you launch that campaign, get out there, knock, instant responses come through on the text responder into that partial lead. So now you can text those leads all day long and let them know when the house goes pending. And then even better, when it sells, you can canvas the neighbor even larger, or the neighborhood even more so, and say, hey, your neighbor's home just sold. Text the word sold to find out what it sold for, how many days on market, and how many offers. So again, WIFM, what's in it for me? Well, if I'm in that neighborhood, I want to know what my equity position is with that neighbor's house, because I know that neighbor's house, and that neighbor's house sucks compared to my house, So then they can go in and text that, and the auto response will kick back and say, yep, we sold, or not we, but if it's not your listing, if it is your listing, you can say, we sold that neighbor's home for 800,000, 23 days, 2 offers. Have you considered selling in the past few months? Because we all know that when one home goes on market, 2 or 3 will pop up right away or within that listing period. So that's how you can drive traffic now business through the CINC platform that's available for free. Like, we don't have to pay for these leads. We do with sweat equity. We do with having to drop these or mail them. But now we're getting instant local leads coming through, all off of this platform that CINC has for us through these text responders. So that's one way to get instant business. The next way is if you're doing an open house and you'd say you're doing it on a Saturday from 11 to 2, canvass the neighborhood, or you have to mail if you're in an HOA with strict, HOA rules or gated communities, you have to plan, but you can mail into that neighborhood before the open house and say, listen, to the homeowners, open house this Saturday. Open house this Saturday. Special giveaway at 2:30 for the homeowners. Text the word giveaway for the details. Again, we're trying to connect with the homeowners who live around the open house. Those are leads that we want as well. Not only the leads that come into the open house, but the leads that are around the open house. So when they text the word open house, we have an auto response that says, hey, just want to apologize for the extra signage and cars in your neighborhood this weekend. As a thank you, I wanted to invite you to the open house after the public leaves at 2:30 for a special drawing. I hope to see you there. What do you think is going to happen at 2:30?
Yeah.
John and Susan are going to walk down to the open house and they're going to ask you, hey, how was the turnout? Did you get a lot of action? What did people say? I know this house. I know these people. Gosh, if they're asking this, do you have time to come back to my house sometime next week? I'm not thinking about selling, but I'd love for you to give me a market evaluation and kind of see where I'm at. So you're meeting these people, these homeowners, and the best part is you're getting their cell phone numbers. And so when they text the word open house, immediately you have their cell phone number so you can follow up. Hey, I just did an open house last week and it was so great to meet you, or I'm sorry I didn't see you at the giveaway. Just want to let you know this is now under contract. It went pending in 17 days. Have you considered selling in the past 3 months or in the past little while? So you have this database of gold that's just sitting there that you can start working. So you're working these local leads, you're working your buyer leads that are coming in and seller leads both at the same time. You're going to start popping deals very, very quickly, especially when they're seeing all the stuff that you're doing, and communicating with the listings. So those text responders, man, they're absolute gold for getting listings and getting business right away in your database.
And I don't want to put you on the spot because I know there's only certain things we can do when we're having this big of a webinar as far as sharing to like where it doesn't kaput it. Is there any way, do you have any thing that if people leave their email, we can give them like an instruction or I can see if there's sync training on the specific because we got a couple folks asking if we could share exactly some of the pictures or exactly some of the steps of where that's at in the system and a lot of great feedback of awesome old old school fine marketing but putting it into text but being able some of the folks aren't being able to maybe find it in the system itself. I can check on that too if you don't have that. So text responders because we are
Yeah.
we'll,
You know what?
yeah.
Sync did in the help center, right? In the help
Yep,
center on the
yep.
platform, if you type in text responders, there's a 14-minute training that Sync has put together that walks through like how to do a text responder for just listed, for postcards and business cards. So basically, I took that training and I thought, you know what? Let's 10x that to see what else we can do with this. But Sync has a good tutorial video. It's a little, so yeah, you can blast
Yep.
that out.
Uh, our one of our fearless leaders, Mr. Orlando, actually just said you can also send our way to the Sync support line to help you guys as well. They'll individually can show you guys what Greg's talking about. They thank you, Orlando. Shout out to the man who runs the Sync office in Atlanta.
Orlando's the best, man.
Yeah.
Orlando's the best.
I'm putting that
Yeah,
number in the chat, guys.
yeah. So that's so crucial, man. Like and it's such an underutilized tool that Sync has because it can really scale your business. And it's great for new agents. If you have new agents on your team who are hungry, right? That's one thing that you can have them do right away is to get them out and doing these text responders because that's instant success that comes from them. They get excited when they get that lead that comes in from a text responder, and it also gets them used to the platform in a different way and a way to communicate. And so there's nothing better when you have a brand new agent who joins your team, you're showing them text responders, they're going out and they're hustling, they're knocking and dropping. Actually, we don't knock at all. We just drop because ring and dogs barking and babies. It's like we don't want to be that guy, but we'll just drop. It's awesome to see the success and the happiness that comes in from them. Now, you can go ballistic with these text responders, but my only caution is, and I whenever I train on this, I want to let people know you have to be very specific to the campaign name, and you can't have the same text code multiple times. Like you can't have the word price on 16 different text codes because it won't work. So you have to be specific. And then once you have these text responders come in for this neighborhood, create a label for the subdivision that this home is in so that now you can give them weekly, monthly market updates in that subdivision. And you're just a hometown hero all of a sudden because now you're just texting them the stats, the WIF, what's in it for me, stuff, information that they want. So
You're
you
gonna
can,
get me on that because the whole radio. My mom's been in radio for 40 something years, so like
oh, no
I've
way.
never heard that terminology. So
What?
like now I'm gonna be
It's
stuck
a
in my head.
Bro, it's the
uh,
number one radio station on planet Earth,
yeah,
man.
yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
So
Um,
with these text responders, you can go beyond just listings. Like one thing, like I drive an H2 Hummer, right? And it's freaking wrapped in Go Idaho, Bigfoot, real estate. And on the back, it says like text Bigfoot to my sync number. And so I get people around town texting Bigfoot, and my auto response is so cheesy. It's like, hey, you found Bigfoot. Let me know where you spotted him. And I get responses all around town. Like the most embarrassing one is like the McDonald's drive-thru. I'm like, oh no. But like, or sitting around town or at the grocery store, whatever. But man,
Yeah.
I'm collecting cell phone numbers from people who live around my town so I can text them once a quarter. Hey, have you ever thought about buying or selling? Love to help you. So it's just another way for me to drum up business. Now, you can take this and put this on steroids. We do stuff outside of real estate with these text responders to generate more leads, either for Instagram, for Facebook. Like I do ticket drops. I have season tickets to the baseball team here. Obviously, I can't go to every game, so I'll do a ticket drop on my Instagram and have people text the word clue to get an information where I've hidden these tickets for this
I've
baseball
seen it
game.
on your social media. Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Yeah,
like it.
it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can go, you can do scavenger hunts, you can do anything to generate business. It's just wherever your creativity can go. Dude, this text responder that CINC has, it's the most underutilized tool I believe that CINC has. It's the secret weapon.
I love it. And I see Erica blast from the past. I haven't known her in a previous life. Hopefully, all is well. Good to see. She says that she uses that for all listings for instant info. Um, and would it be like how long have you been doing that, Greg? Like, would you say that that was a tool that maybe you started out using, or that a later in life seeing aha moment for yourself? Or
Years ago, I went to Sync U and they just kind of brushed by it with these virtual business cards. And I thought, hmm. And then I started doing that on all our flyers because the price reduction stuff was going so quick. I just couldn't get flyers out. And so
yeah.
we've been putting them on our flyers for a long time. Recently, I've just been kind of blowing it up on social media and doing stuff like that, using them for that. But yeah, it's
Cool.
been a staple feature for a long time for me.
Awesome. Love it. I know Jessica just asked too. Sorry, trying to get to some of the questions when I see them. For the
Yeah.
text responder, how do you get their name, email, etc. Because you have you get the number. Is that kind of going back into maybe some of the playful where you were saying like, hey, after you get the price, I don't, you know your campaign,
Yeah,
you
I
know
know.
how you run it better than me, but I think
Yeah,
that was
over
you
under
you were
30 days
touching.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's the over and under on this? Yeah. So, I mean, we try and get that name and number eventually, but sometimes we just have to go through like other services like Forewarn that can kind of backdoor the information that way. If we have someone show up at an open house, like for the drawing, like a neighbor that comes, we have them register for that drawing. Just and then we try and connect the dots that way. But we don't spend a lot of time trying to track down their information at all
Okay.
because we'll find out like, hey, if they want us to come over to the place for a listing, we'll ask them for their address, then we can pull it up that way. Then it's all good.
Awesome, awesome. It's and kind of, I don't know if it's cool to jump to this now, but I saw in the community a couple weeks back, what led me to, hey, Greg, can we borrow some more of your time? And a lot of people are giving feedback about some of the magic emails maybe that you've used to, I hate using the word magic sometimes because I'm like, there is
Yeah.
no magic pill, bullet, whatever analogy, but that it created a lot of buzz. I know in a couple comments within our Facebook group. So I had to ask you about it, right? Like, if there anything there you could share or thoughts around kind of what's been working, this summer for you and some of your clients.
Yeah. So this one thing I always coach realtors on with Sync is, we have the power to mass communicate, right? Mass text and mass email. And I think we get used to as realtors, we get into this rut of just sending market information, rate information, price drops, builder incentives, stuff like that. When really these leads who come in and log in, they're just coming to look at the MLS, right? They're not coming to buy a house today. And I think that's the mindset we have to have is we have to switch our mindset to be like, you know what? They're here to look at the MLS. How can I befriend them, get to know them, help them with what they need, and then gradually work that? But one thing that you have to keep in mind is these leads, we don't know them. We don't know if they follow us on social or anything like that. So what I train and what we do is every Monday we go in, Troy, and we give a little smoochy smoochy kiss to these leads, and we make the first move. And what I mean
Yeah.
by that is like in my mind, it's like we're dating, and so like I'm gonna go in for a kiss, even though I don't know them very well. And so what we do is we send a picture of something we did over the weekend, of us just in our town, in our city with our
Yeah.
family. And we embed that and we put that in the sync email and we say, hey, and we call the subject line weekend recap. And we just say, hey, hope you had a great weekend. This weekend was awesome. Went camping. It was so great. I love living in Idaho. Hope you had a great weekend. Bam, send that out because they have to get to know us. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And how
Yeah.
can they get to know us if we're just sending rate information, market update?
Yeah, and
Well,
sometimes too, Greg, even like sometimes it's not even the knowing. You can know someone because I just had a little aha because there's someone in my town who is a friend of mine, and like she uses Sync, but like I follow her because she gives great Friday updates. Family, this is what's going on in Mount Pleasant, like our sub area of Charleston, and it's a great, like, keeps me in tune to her page. It keeps me, to what she's posting because I'm always expecting it, around that Friday lunchtime. Hey, take your kids here, like, things.
totally.
So I mean, you're right too because it can help build your brand, which I love the Bigfoot Sasquatch brand that you've got. But and just even I think sometimes we take for granted with, yeah, we know people, so we just expect that we'll be in front of them, right? Because they know us
Right.
well. But that's a case in point where, I mean, she was actually even in my wedding, like that close. And I
No
I
way.
mean, I literally stayed like, in front of her Instagram for her what's to come weekend, Friday for families, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it humanizes everything, right? People, they want to be, everyone wants to be anonymous right now. They don't want to be tracked. They don't want to, but they're starving for that connection, but they're
Yeah.
only ready for it when they feel like they know you and trust you. And so these Monday emails that we send out, it's a way for us to build trust with these people. And Troy, it's mind blowing the emails we get back from our leads who just share stuff that I would never even tell anyone,
Yeah, yeah,
but they
yeah,
just
yeah.
they open up and they're like, you're their guy or you're their gal.
Yeah.
This was great. I just trained this agent on this, and she's in Lake Tahoe. I'm not sure if she's on this or not, but she sent out her first email and she got a response and she was so excited, and she set an appointment for this August 9th and 10th of a lead that she's been trying to get a hold of, but it wasn't connecting. But this one email of her having lunch over the lake at Lake Tahoe resonated with this client and it felt like she could reach out. So we have to humanize this experience. And I know a lot of people send emails and newsletters already, and I think that's awesome. But if you're not doing anything, try humanizing. And if you're too embarrassed to do a selfie or a date night selfie with a spouse or whatever, I have an agent who is afraid to do a selfie. They not because of what they look like, but they just are self-conscious. And so
Yeah.
they'll take a picture of them like walking their dog on a trail, doing like the leash view, or a pickleball racket if they're playing pickleball. Like you can still do stuff without being so open to who you are, but you have to start opening yourself up so that
Yeah.
leads can get to know you and feel like they
Yeah.
trust you, especially if they're relocating to another state. They want to go with someone they know. So that's one email,
Yeah.
man. The second
I
email
love
you
it.
kind of the second email you kind of already touched on, and we send this on Fridays. It's a weekend update or a weekend events email, and we just
Okay.
list everything, like 5 things that are happening in Idaho, this weekend. And right now is rodeo season, so there's a lot of rodeos going on. There's a fair, but we
Y'all
go
got
hyper.
rodeos in Idaho now? I mean, that just
Dude,
threw me for a loop.
dude, we go beyond. Like we have dairy days here in Idaho, and dude, this is where you get your cow. If you own a cow, you paint your cow and you parade the cow down the street, and then like the kids all like judge to see whose cow was painted and decorated the most. It's wild, dude. But anyway, so we do the events email, just to keep people up to speed of what's happening, because emotion is high when it comes to moving, relocating out of state into a new state. We want to paint a picture of what it could be like if people are living here. And it also builds authority for yourself. They're like, man, dude, Troy's sending me this stuff. Like he's
Yeah.
connected. I love his Monday emails. Looks like he has a great family. He sucks at golf, but you know what? I'm just,
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
I was no hurt.
No, no. Great golfer. I feel like I could connect with Troy. I'm going to reach out to him and kind of tell him our plans. And
Yeah.
this is all in the works, dude. With the text responders, the the calls that we're making, the texts that we're sending. Now we're connecting even deeper with the personal emails from us, weekend events, and now we're like really creating. And the people who just are mean, we don't want to work with them. We just know we're
Yeah.
not going
Yeah.
to be a good fit. And so it kind of weeds them out naturally. So
Yep.
those are like the two emails that just are gold for us when it comes to connecting with our database because we're not trying to sell everyone a house, dude. We're just looking for the 30 people who want to buy or sell in 2025. And then we'll worry about
Yeah.
next year when next year hits.
Yeah. Well, being someone's resource, like, I feel like that's no matter, a lost art in sales. I've been in this industry now for about 13, 14 years, and that's what people forget. Like it's everyone's biggest, it's like they just want to have a resource, and it's like you'll
Yeah.
get the sale if you're just their resource, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then so often they'll either make a sale and forget about them, or they'll whenever they'll kind of just get focused, whether that is too focused on new leads, or I've even seen folks where they're too focused on their sphere and they don't do the correct touches if they have new leads coming in from different sources, etc.
Yeah,
Um,
and always people always ask me like, who do I send these mass emails to, you know? And I send it to everyone in my database from a brand new lead if they just came in and
okay,
it's a Friday, all the way to a past client who we've closed. Everyone gets the same email.
okay, cool, cool. That's
Yeah.
that's a good one to know. Yeah, because I guess you're still like, because your focus is always being that expert in your community around, like, the events. Like, I did not know people that this Friday that he did a re or what's to come email that just I can see that it works.
Yeah, man.
Good deal, good deal,
Yeah,
good deal.
it's so powerful, dude. It really is. It just humanizes it. And yeah, people they connect, and that's the most important thing is just building these connections because the
Yeah,
referrals that you get from people is just like it's beyond, you know. I mean, it's so rewarding. That's why Sync is such a high ROI is because we can leverage so much off this platform, not just with the emails and our leads that are coming in, but through the text responders, doing things outside of, doing scavenger hunts for our town, our community all running off of Sync. I mean, it's crazy. There's nothing, you don't need another database. Everyone has 18 different databases. It's crazy. Like this, once you know the Sync and how to work it, dude, it is just money.
well, appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's true.
and would you put all that under some of the database mindset, or is that some of the things that you've had to coach some folks with, or through,
Yeah.
and kind of what they think about their database and how to approach it? If you could share some of
Yeah.
that with folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So like the database mindset, I talk to a lot of people who are just so discouraged, man. Honestly. They don't even want to log in because they don't know where to go. And they know they need to call their leads, they know they need to be in their system, but it's just kind of a slog sometimes. As we know, we get burnout and sometimes it's like trying to work these leads and carry them up a mountain just to have them tell us they have a realtor or they're not interested or whatever.
Yeah.
So the mindset shift that I have had that has been a complete game changer for me is I think of these people as just referrals. I think of them as referrals that Sync gave me. And so I connect with them in a way that is just Greg. I connect with them how I connect with any like a referral from a friend of mine. I treat them the same way. I don't look at them as different. I don't treat
And we're
them different.
talking new leads, like someone who signed up on your website, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, 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 cool,
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they get hit up and I'm just real with them, hey, it's Greg in Boise. I saw you're looking at houses here. I just curious to know how Idaho came on your radar. I'd love to connect with you.
yeah,
I'm one who leaves voicemails. I think people have to hear my voice. So I do leave a voicemail. I also send a text message because dude, text is like the key for me because 98% of people open up text messages and 90% of them are read within the first 3 minutes. So for
Okay.
us, I want, and if we're on a call right now and someone's calling me because I just registered on our website, I'm not going to be able to pick up the phone, but I might be able to glance at the text and say, oh, this is Greg in Idaho. I saw that, okay, I can text you back when I'm off this call, something like that. So, but I'm going off a different direction, but get
Oh,
back
you're
to
good.
the mindset. The mindset is just these people, I'm going to be their referral. I'm going to be their concierge desk. I'm going to here to help them, and I'm here to weed out who I don't want to work with. That's the biggest key for us, is to try and figure
Okay.
out and weed out people who just aren't going to be a good fit.
Okay. A couple of questions. I know someone I just saw, did someone asked, are you using AI, the AI within the Sync platform? Are you a non-AI user? Nothing can be
No.
held against you, Greg. Nothing can be held against you. Not by me. Orlando might say something,
Orlando,
or
oh my
Alvaro.
God.
Alvaro
So
might say something.
no, dude, I'm unfortunately I'm not. We handle the text communication. We text. Well, first of all, we never text out of our personal phone. Everything is done through the sync telephone number. So and we use a sync dialer. We are dialers and sync number users. So all texting comes from a sync number. All of our dials come from our sync number, and the dialer we use on a regular basis. So yeah.
Cool. And yeah, see, Alyssa saying Sync trains to not leave a voicemail. I would say, one size doesn't always fit all, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
we've I've been at competitors, for instance, right? Of Sync, and it's the one thing that's true is a system. You got to use it to how it's made for you, right? And find one that's
Right.
made for you too, because there are a lot of systems out there that can do a lot of similar things, but it's like, what is one that's going to be used for you to track it and see if it's successful, for how you want to work, as well as representing your brand. Because I love how when we first met, that was your kind of thing when you moved to the new area, right? It was like boom,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm starting this new brand and this is going to be me. And that was, it was cool to have that conviction, but also it was what you were comfortable with, so you were able to shine more, in my opinion. And I think that that goes a long way for anyone selling anything, right? As long as they can
Right.
represent themselves, it comes through.
Well, and that's the
um
beauty of Sync. This platform allows you to utilize it just what fits you. So for me, it's one thing. It might not be the same for everyone, but I'm true to myself, and I'm going to work my business how I know it feels good to me. And I just
yeah,
encourage everyone to do it, because that's how you're going to be the most successful, is what's in your
yeah.
heart and how you go. So, yeah,
We're tracking it too. I mean, we can always track it, right?
track
Like
it
that's
a
what that's
hundred
what's
percent.
the beautiful thing about CRM. It's like, see what's working, what's in your market, what works specifically, for yourself. Because I always say that, ads or visitors on websites, people underestimate how, even if something seems the same, like it can be a different experience, whether that be area, whether that be who's visiting. Like, it really is vital for everyone to monitor their stats and see, make sure that we're outperforming. Did we hit the potato? That was one that we even mentioned last time. Did we somewhat hit the potato?
I don't
Um,
know, dude.
about, because I know that was, we mentioned it last time we were together on a webinar. You mentioned it kind of in passing. I know we teased the how a potato can lead to big deals. Um, you care to kind of enlighten me to how that can happen?
Yeah.
Because I like French fries, but I don't know how else it'll work.
Well, I first have to give a shout out to Megan Faber, because she gave me this idea. So all credit to her for this idea. But what so when we connect with leads, so say we send out a Monday email, a weekend, weekend recap of what we did, and we connect with a lead, and we make this good connection. And sometimes, like Troy, we've had a good connection from day one,
Yeah.
and I feel like, I should have done this, but now I'm thinking maybe I should anyways. But like, I would ask you for your address, because we have a good connection, good conversation. Same thing with our leads. When we get a good lead and we're connecting with them on the phone or email, we ask them for their address. and we asked them if we can send them just a thank you from Idaho. And what after the back and forth of no, you don't need to send me anything. I'm like, well, listen, I'm going to FedEx on Friday. I'd love to drop something off in your mail. And so what we do is we send them a raw Idaho potato. And it says this is the best Idaho potato you'll ever taste. I look forward to sharing a potato with you when you move to Idaho. All the best, Greg. Bro, talk about an impact that those freaking golden spuds have. It's unreal.
I was gonna say,
People
how
get
heavy
that.
you sending them?
People get those and they are blown away. And what it does, and we don't hawk potatoes to everyone, right? We're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looking
yeah,
for those people that make contacts. But what
yeah.
happens is they now have this complete connection with us. It's almost like a preemptive pop by to a lead that we connect with. It's just our way of saying thank you and just standing out a lot different than any other realtor they may be in correspondence with. So we
Yeah.
mail them up, we FedEx a potato out to their front door. They get it, they're blown away, but it completes the cycle of, oh my gosh, this guy's sending me great properties I'm interested in. I love getting his Monday weekend recap emails. He knows what's happening in his market on the weekends. And he just sent me a random potato. Like he's our guy. It
Yeah, yeah.
locks us in. And what happens is we'll get calls that say, hey, man, you're Bill and Susie's realtor in Idaho. They told us we have to go through you. Here's our plans. We're moving to Idaho. We're looking for this, this, and this, and wondering if you have time to help us. And we're like, who's Bill? And we look them up in CINC, and sure enough, they have the potato label because that's someone we mailed a potato to. So we're generating referrals off of this, we call it golden spud, because it is our golden nugget to get referrals before we've even shook hands with these leads in our database.
Yeah,
So I've challenged everyone to think about what's in your market that you can send in advance to those leads that you connect with. Don't make anything, don't send anything that'll melt or rot or in case they're on vacation or whatever. But start thinking about things that you can send to kind of start separating yourself, because right now the market's a little soft. There's buyers have a lot of choices right now, but they're also hesitant. You want to be that guy or that gal when it comes to representing them. So
yeah.
these potatoes, dude, they're money. They're money.
There, now, would you say your market is predominantly second home, or someone maybe retiring, or it doesn't really matter? It can be like they can be in Boise and you're gonna get
Yeah,
like a potato.
yeah, even if they're listing their house and we make a connection with them,
Okay.
a genuine good connection with them, we'll send them a potato and they're still blown away.
Okay.
But our market, I think, is more relocation, people trying to get out of more expensive states like California, Arizona, Oregon, Washington,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And because
So
I was just like thinking for like Charleston just being here, like if you would change it, if it was, would you go something? Yeah, I like that.
no,
What
like I
yeah,
coach
you
this.
don't tell them. You don't tell them, right? You don't tell them you're
No,
sending them.
no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no.
Just
I coach a realtor in Salt Lake, and she sends a little jar of honey because that's the beehive state. I have
okay.
people in Florida I coach, and they send sand, they send oranges.
Yeah,
Um, Memphis, they do barbecue sauce, a little thing of barbecue sauce. So there's all sorts of different things.
yeah,
What's unique to your market that can really kind of be a differentiator. And if I'm in Idaho and I'm coming to Charleston and you send me something that represents, I'm gonna be like, what? No
yeah,
way!
yeah,
I had,
yeah.
it'd be really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like the state snack is boiled peanuts, but I don't even know if half this call will be like, wait, what? um, that's cool, man. I was wondering how that was gonna be a thing. I'm like, I didn't want to ask you before because I wanted to get it fresh, just like everyone else. I'm like, how's he gonna spend this?
Yeah,
Um,
it's a game changer, dude. It really is. It just, again, it humanizes you. It shows a little humor, just shows a little thoughtfulness, a little care. And that's what people want when they're trying to look at homes online and there's a realtor on the other end trying to connect. They want
yeah,
to work with someone who's real. That
yeah,
anonymous starts to go away. They start coming out of the woodworks and really they want to connect with you. And I love it when they're like, "Do you have time to work with us?" Like that shows that you're doing something right. And we don't want to chase leads all day. We're not
Yeah.
into that. We want them chasing us a little bit. So these are ways that help us.
Yeah, and I mean, I love it too because not the sync pitch, but Orlando, one of our main leaders in the company, is in the chat giving people links, like giving numbers to talk to real people. And we're in an office in Atlanta. Some of us are remote. The Charleston, but I like it really is a separator for some of the companies I came from, competitors where like they just didn't have that level of service. And
Yeah.
I know it can be a lot, guys, to maybe next time we'll think of maybe a PowerPoint to kind of give some pictures as well. But it can be still a lot to take in. We'll be sending everyone a recording so that everyone has it, as well as like Greg's active in our social community. But Greg, any other ways besides the sync owners community that folks can get in touch with you? Or
Yeah, they can email me at greg@goidahonow.com. Just greg
cool.
at goidahonow.com. That's probably the best way to get in touch with me and get on a schedule for a call or anything like that that I can help out. But like that, you just, I think, Troy, what Sync has is what we try and emulate is that concierge desk approach. Like I've never been able to not get something through to Sync or tech support or anything like that. Orlando, everyone is so helpful. Yourself, so helpful and genuine. And that's what I think
Mm,
is a differentiator for Sync. And so that's all we're trying to do is emulate that and with our leads, because you find people who have the good hearts and
yeah,
people who care. And that's what we're looking for. And that's who's always going to be the best deal. And those are the friends that you're going to have after the sale and who you're going to take whitewater rafting or paddleboarding or whatever are
yeah,
those clients. And that's what we want. So concierge desk mindset, referral type mindset, humanizing it, just being who you are is going to be just the most powerful thing that you can do.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Greg, can you give the email again? I was gonna type it in the
Oh,
chat.
sure. Greg at goidahonow.com.
Greg, thank you so much for doing this. We're or look out for another email coming. We've got our friend Tom Ferry meeting with our CEO Alvaro, trying to give you guys more of these thought leaders like Greg to what we can do to just add more value to make sure you guys are using the tools, but also the resources that we want to be able to provide you that you can use and hopefully continue our long partnership.
Yep, you got it, man. Thanks, Troy.
Yes, sir. Be good.
See ya.